Hello, welcome back to Books-a-Huda. I'm Sandy. Today, I am going to be showing you books that I have gotten recently. It's a book haul! I've collected these books over a couple months. I do a lot of thrift shopping. Like, there's a local store called Savers where I live, and they get some really good used books in there, like perfect condition, and it's like buy four, get one free, and I can't really resist if there are enough good ones. So I will show you books that I've gotten used and books that I have paid full price for. Well, or that I've bought new from somewhere. Okay, I will do vintage first. This one actually is probably... Yes, this is the only one that didn't come from Savers. This came from a bookstore called the Dawn Trader Bookshop in Ann Arbor, Michigan. This is Christopher Moore's Lamb, the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's childhood pal. I've been wanting to read this for a long time. I've read two of his other books and they're really, really funny. I've seen the other version of this that matches those books, but I've never seen this edition before. And I apologize if this offends anyone. I mean, obviously they were going for a very Bible vibe. You know, like an antique, glittery letter, beautiful side, you know, like the pages are gilded on the side. It even looks like there's red inside, and then it has like a page keeper. It's obviously a parody. It's not supposed to replace the Bible in any way. It's if Jesus had a chronicle of the 33 missing years of his life, apparently this is what would happen according to Biff. So I'm pumped to read this sometime in the future. This was $9.50. $9.50 for this piece of gorgeousness. Anyway, next, and the rest of these, as I said, are from Savers, so they were like $3 or free. This one I know almost nothing about. It's Americana, a novel by, I'm gonna butcher this, I apologize, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I have heard of this from Rosianna Rojas. She has a really cool YouTube channel where she talks about books and a lot of other issues. It's highly recommended, even by NPR. And they have NPR and then Entertainment Weekly in succession. I trust NPR more than Entertainment Weekly, shall we say. But I really like the feel of this book. It's by Anchor Books. I like that publisher. So, not knowing almost anything about it, I'm looking forward to it. Next is one that I was drawn in purely by the cover and the aesthetic of the cover, because I love red and black, as you can see, not planned. It's The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I've heard some good things about this. I liked the synopsis on the back, and the cover is really pretty. And, again, in beautiful condition. Someone was just like, I don't want to read this. Savers. Psh. One person's trash is one girl's treasure. Next, I got these a couple days ago, actually, and this was one that I'm interested in but didn't want to pay full price for because I've read some kind of disparaging reviews. I want to make my own opinion. It's The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson. Again, with the Entertainment Weekly. This was recommended on a BuzzFeed post, I think, where they were like, do you enjoy Big Bang Theory? Yes, I do. You should read this, because the main character is sort of like Sheldon. I'll let you know. Next is one that I am so excited to have found, because I've been looking for this book for a while. I've been doing Google searches with stuff that I remembered about the plot of it, and I came up with nothing. I looked through lists of children's fiction, trying to find this. I could not remember a damn thing, and as soon as I saw the cover, I knew that it was the book I've been looking for. It's Anastasia Krupnik by Lois Lowry. I'm so excited! I'm so excited! What I remembered about it was that she wrote, this young girl who's very thoughtful and loves writing and reading, wrote a poem, and her teacher gave her an F. But she took it home to her dad, who's an established published poet, and he changes the F from F to fantastic. And I tried Googling that, could come up with nothing. So I'm really excited to read this again. I opened it up and I recognized the first page immediately. She makes lists. I mean, I was this child. Not really, but no, this is a big part of who I was, and I'm really happy to get to read it again. Next, I actually haven't even read the first book, but I bought the first book from Amazon. It's of the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness. This is the second book. The one I bought was paperback, and I'm sad that they're not going to match, but it's like $3. How can I pass it up? And in nearly perfect condition yet again. This is The Ask and the Answer. This is a trilogy I'm really looking forward to reading because I've heard lots of great things. Next, The Shock and the Fall. I believe I heard Sana from Books and Quills talk about this, and I was like, you aren't gonna pick that up because anything she likes is golden. And also, perfect condition. It's Target, and I went to Target the other day, and this book is still on their shelf, so it's like still a new selling book. What is wrong with people? So I'm looking forward to that. This one, partly because I'd heard about it from somewhere, and partly because I liked the cover, Little Bee by Chris Cleave. I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know much about it. I've seen this book at Savers like many times, and I needed to get a free book, or I had a book to get one for free, and so I picked this one at last. And the last one, very excited to find this in absolutely beautiful condition yet again at Savers, is The Most of Nora Ephron. I've talked about my love for Nora Ephron at least once a video almost, and this is a collection of a lot of her essays, and I love her prose, and I love her humor, and I love her films, so I am excited to gradually read this over time. So those are all of the books I got at thrift stores. This is the part of my spring-summer book haul where I paid full price, or what the asking price was for these books, i.e. I did not buy them used. These are new books. First, what I'm really excited about, Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Do I need to talk about how excited I am to read this? Yes. Do I need to tell you what it's about? Probably not, because everybody else is going on and on about how they love it. It's a book about post-apocalyptic world. This is the summary that every other YouTuber gives. I don't really even need to go into it, but it's a troupe of Shakespearean actors, hence the tense, and I'm excited. Next is one that I have read about 50 pages of, and I'm not sure that I'm going to jump back in right away, but I would like to finish it sometime in the future. Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I don't particularly like the cover, but I was starting to enjoy it. Next, I've already mentioned my love for Middlemarch once today, so this book was obviously one that I wanted to read, especially since I'm loving memoirs lately. It's My Life in Middlemarch by Rebecca Mead. I read an article that was online written by her about her experience writing this book, and I loved it, and George Eliot is very important to me, so I really wanted to read this, and look at how beautiful it is. It's just a beautiful book. That's so, well, books are beautiful these days still, but I feel like whoever wrote this really took the time. I mean, it appears that the back is like the original title page for Middlemarch. I would have to look it up to know. Going from this kind of side to one that matches, I have two of the vintage classics of the Jane Austen books. I really would love to own the whole set, but I already have the annotated versions of 3 of them, so I really couldn't justify, going for the whole set, but I may if I ever get a real job, because they're so beautiful. People have been talking about these, but they're just, like, this is Northanger Abbey, and the other one I have is Emma. The inside is the same as the Emma one, on the outside. I have only read Pride and Prejudice and most of Persuasion, so I really want to read more of them, and this was an excuse to buy pretty books. Oh wow, that's the same. Okay, so unknowingly I bought the ones that match, but I just love the way these books look. is one I'm not going to read for a while because I just finished that Dragonlance book that I was talking about, Dragons of Dwarven Depths, which felt a little tedious to me right away because I don't really read fantasy anymore, and I bought this without really knowing that that's what was happening with my tastes, but I do want to read it someday because Tavi sounds pretty cool, basically. It's Jim Butcher's Furies of Calderon, book 1 of the Codex Alera series. They seem to sell pretty well. When I went to Barnes & Noble, they had quite a big selection of them, so one day, what am I using as a bookmark? Oh, little Daenerys. Okay, moving on. And then the final book that I bought, I read a few pages and I did enjoy the writing, but just wasn't really in the mood for a World War II book at the moment, but it's All the Light We Cannot See, which is everywhere. That is beginning, I'm noticing a trend with this. I'm like, and this person said this, and this person said this. Oh, this is by Anthony Doerr. Sorry, or Doerr. Mostly I'm buying a lot of things that are really popular right now because I haven't ever done that. I've always read books that I've heard about in the past that were really popular. You know, I've tried to read a lot of the canon, like the classic canon, and especially in school, like, I have not been free to read what I want, so now I'm just really happy to be able to buy whatever I want and read whatever I want when I want. So that's why I've been buying a lot of things that a lot of people like, because it's nice to get to read things that people recommend, not necessarily professors. Not that professors aren't people, but you know what I mean. So those are all the books that I have purchased recently. It's quite a stack. I probably won't be able to buy any books for a long time because I am now broke. School is out and I don't have a job. I will get one eventually. We only hope. Let me know what you've been reading or what books you've picked up and are excited to read down below if you want. Thank you for watching. I've been Sandy on Books to Huda.